lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and today I'm going to be talking about Fantastic Comics number 24, which is part of the Next Issue Project initiative that Erik Larsen was editing. This was a series of 4 books. This was the first one to come out, Fantastic Four Comics 24, and then it was followed by Silver Street Comics 24, and Crack Comics 63, and Speed Comics 45, I believe. It's the brainchild of Erik Larsen, which I think is awesome, taking public domain characters from the Golden Age, having all these new cartoonists from this era put their own spin on it and just go completely crazy. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of talk about, because I'm a huge Erik Larsen fan, and any type of project that he does, like I'm all in on it, and just a really cool idea in terms of, like, it's oversized. It's not the size of a regular comic book. It's 64 pages. Like I said, really awesome creators attached to it. So let's jump into it. Even had complete with an old ad, which I think is really funny. The type of ads that they put in this came out in 2008. On top of the fact that this is on like a matte type of paper, it's not glossy, which I love this type of paper in comic books. And also, to give it that old newsprint effect, that it's a little bit of off-white. So Erik Larsen does the main story, focusing on Samson. Fun look back at this character. And Erik Larsen is, to me, like one of the best to do it when it comes to utilizing public domain characters and bringing it to a new audience. He does it all the time with Savage Dragon. You know, whether it's the death-defying Daredevil, Captain Tootsie. He really does it in an interesting and cool way, and doesn't try to make it so far removed from what the character is to where they're unrecognizable, you know? And he does that perfectly with this Samson story. I like that he even has a little bit of a looser style in here than he does, a little bit more rendered in Savage Dragon, more so than he does in this. Action-packed, funny story. And then, of course, this is saying that you can follow the exploits next issue. So these issues picked up right where these respective series ended. And then we get one more taste. One more look back on the title with some of the creations. This one is by Joe Casey and Bill Sienkiewicz with Flip Falcon in the 4th dimension. Anytime you get some Bill Sienkiewicz interiors, jump on it. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it. Moon Knight, New Mutants, everything. Elektra, Assassin, just a prolific creator. Joe Casey's, a writer that I really appreciate. I loved some of his DC stuff. He did Godland with Tom Scioli, which is phenomenal. If you haven't read it, check it out. So we get their story in here. And again, I won't talk too much about the stories. I just kind of wanted to showcase some of this. Even looking at this, seeing the printing error, which was so common back then in the Golden Age and Silver Age. I mean, even into the 90s, I would still see stuff like this. Newsprint is not... the ink rubs off easily, so you're definitely going to get stuff like that happening. We have Thomas Yeates, co-written by Bryan Rutherford. This is The Golden Knight. Another cool... This one is on... completely stark white paper, which I'm okay with that, as much as I do love the look of the off-white to replicate the newsprint. Another awesome little story. All different genres. That's something that I love about it. This is an anthology of many characters and all varying genres. We have Andy Kuhn on Yank Wilson, Super Spy. This one was one of my favorites too as well. Just makes me wish that Image would do more things like this. Just cool, unique little projects. Like I said, varying genres, but also way different art styles, like in every single story. And I can't wait to check out the other issues, as soon as I can grab them. I got lucky, got this at a good price. We have actual text like you would see in some of the pulp magazines back then. This is by B.C. Moore with Carlton Riggs in the Flaming Cavern. Next up, Space Smith. And this one is by Tom Scioli, who I just mentioned before with the Joe Casey stuff. You can definitely always see the Kirby influence in his work. This is definitely a different style too than I was more accustomed to seeing, based on his more modern stuff or more recent stuff, and then also even the Godland stuff that he was doing right around this time. So he switched it up a little bit for this one. Another fun story. We got one of my favorites. We got Jim Rugg on this one for Captain Kidd. This story, I actually had seen this story prior to this. It's in his Super magazine / book that he put out with a bunch of his art and some short comics. We had this in there as well. Brian Maruca did this one with Jim Rugg. So this one's pretty cool. More ads. That's the Speed Comics, like I was saying. Advertising for some of that stuff. We got Boris Hembeck on this, Professor Fiend, a more cartoony type of story, just a 2-pager. And then for this one, we have the great Mike Allred, Laura Allred on colors. And Joe Keating wrote this and lettered by Val Nunez. And this is Stardust. And Fletcher Hanks is the original creator. This one definitely gave me the vibes of like Miracle Man and type of character, the design and everything. I really love just how you have like this almost like filmy look over the entire art on the pages. Laura Allred's one of the best colorists in the business, and I mean Mike Allred is a legend unto himself as well. We even have in the background some more public domain characters. This one was probably one of my favorites, I would say. This one's Sub Saunders. I'm not sure who the creator on this is. I think it's my saying in the back. But this art is really awesome. I love just like the ink wash look to it. Most of this is also in German, so you don't really know exactly what they're saying until this last panel. And then, of course, the final page. But I thought this one was really cool as well. Again, also advertising the next one. We got Crack Comics coming up. So like I said, I really want to delve deeper into this. I think that this is really, really awesome of Erik Larsen to put something like this together. I don't know what the sales were like. I know there is definitely a group of fans that would definitely dig this and want to pick stuff up like this if this came out, every once in a while. But I just want to share a little bit of my thoughts. I know this is just a quick little video. Maybe some of you aren't aware that this existed. If you're an Erik Larsen fan, recommend it. If you like public domain characters, I think you would dig it as well. And if you're not already following us, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new video goes up. And on that note, I'm out.